You can let your report users control how many top or bottom products they see and have the chart update itself to match. Let me show you how to build that. Instead of your chart showing all 50 products at once, your users can say, show me just the top 5 or the top 7 by revenue or the bottom 3. They control it using this slicer here, and the title updates to match whatever they pick. I'm using product and revenue, but everything here works with whatever data you have. Your users can select what they want. It could be the top products by revenue, it could be the bottom products by revenue. And the first thing we need to do is begin with the foundations. We need a basic top-end chart. And for us to do that, we need to create a numeric parameter. Once you go to modeling here and you click on new parameter, you will need the numeric range. Once I select that, and then you can go ahead to name yours. I'm just going to name it top N, and the data type is whole number. And then you want to choose the minimum value that you want and the maximum. I will just go ahead to choose 1. Depends on you, how many you would want your users to see at a time. And then I would choose the maximum as 10, but yours could be between 5 and 10, depending on how many you want your users to see at that particular time. And then the increment is 1. Please ensure that your add slicer to this page is selected, and then you can go ahead to create. What that does is that immediately creates this for you, the slicer for the parameter, and then it shows this here. Now your user will just need to type in how many maybe products or categories that they want to see, and it should show that. But let us create the chart. I'm just going to use a clustered bar chart. Just expand that a bit. Okay. And for me, I'm going to be using sales data, and I'll be using the products. So on my x-axis, I need to bring in a measure here. This is the measure here. What this measure just does is that it looks at every product and ranks them by revenue from the highest to the lowest, and then only showing the ones that make the cut based on what my user has selected in the slicer or what I have selected in the slicer. And I'm using my sales data, product here, and revenue. My dimension here is product, and my metric is the total revenue. The total revenue is just a simple sum formula. Let me show you that. This is what it is. Let's go back here. I'm going to put all the measures in the description of this video. All you need to do is adapt it to your own data set. Just explain how each part actually works. This selected N here is just holding the number your user picks. If they move the slicer to 3, the selected N becomes 3. And then the current rank is where the ranking happens. RANKX goes through every product and gives each one a number. The highest revenue gets rank 1, the second highest gets rank 2, and so on. And in the case where there are 2 products that have the same rank, maybe they have the same revenue that they've generated, what it will do is that it will tie both of them. That's what this does. And then the last line here is just a filter. If a product's rank is within the number that your user picks, it shows it. If not, then it hides it. That's basically what it does. I will now go ahead to put this top N in the x-axis here. And that's what we see. So let me just maximize this a bit. Let us make some changes. I will turn off the slicer header, and I'll just increase the value so that it's more visible, right? Let's make that 20 or maybe 25, depending on you. And then you can just adjust it to what you want. So right now it's just showing us top N by product. We'll make changes to that very shortly, but let us continue. I'm going to expand this a bit, and then I'm just going to drag this on top. If I choose top 5, it shows me the top 5 product. You can make any changes that you want to make. Let me just let me increase this so that it's more visible. Let's change that to 16 and maybe make it bold so that you can see that as well. And then I'll just make any changes that you want to make to your values. And then I'll just turn off titles for both of them. Now basically we can put top 6 and you'd see the top 7, you see the top 7 like that, and it just continues to change depending on what you want. So now your users can select if they want to see the top 3 products, they want to see the top 4 products, and it just continues to change that way. Now let's give your users the ability to switch between top and bottom. Right now, what they can do is check the top products by revenue, but now we want to see how we can make the bottom products available to them as well. What we need to do is we need a very simple table. Just on the home page here, you just need to click on enter data, right? When this comes up, once you've clicked on enter data, we need to just name the table. I'm going to name it select. I named it selection there, but just to show you that. And then once you click on column name here, you can just change that to select. And then you add 2 values, top and then bottom, and then you click on load after. Now what we want to do is we want to add that to a slicer. So the table we just created, we just click on build and let's just select this slicer here and we can drag this. Let's just drag that there. So what you have now is top and bottom. I'm just going to make this a button slicer. Then I will just make a couple of changes, or I can just leave that till later. I don't know the title to give it to be more space, and then we can make changes later, but let's just continue. So the measure we created initially, this measure, is not really going to be useful right now because now we want to give our users the ability to also select the bottom end. I've updated it. You can delete yours, but this is the new formula or the new measure that we're going to be using. First one is stop. So a stop is just checking what your user has clicked on the slicer that we just created. So did they click top or did they click bottom? And if they haven't clicked anything, it just stays as a stop. Top is the default, but if the user clicks on bottom, then bottom is what they get. Then based on that, the ranking flips. Top means highest revenue gets rank 1, and bottom means lowest revenue gets rank 1. That's the only difference. Just one word in the formula changes the entire direction of the ranking. What I'm going to do now is I will change this. Let us change. Instead of using this top end, I'm just going to drag this here. Let's close that. You see that changes to the bottom 4, and then let's make it bottom 6. You see we have bottom 6, and then top. You can see which one ranks low in terms of the revenue. Basically, that's what this just gives us, or gives your users the ability to do. You can go ahead to make changes. All you need to do now is if you want to make any changes, if you don't want the color to be black when it's selected, you can go ahead to make changes within callout or buttons most preferably, right? I already did that here. So I'm not going to bore you with that, but you can go ahead to make the changes to the color that you want. The next thing, and then just adjust this to how you like for both of them to be placed. Now we know that the chart is working properly, but the title is still static. We're saying top end modern by products. It's very confusing. If your user switches to bottom 5 or top 3, we want to make sure that they are able to see, oh, top 3, bottom 3 by revenue. That's what we're going to do next. And this is the measure that we're going to use. It's just the dynamic chart title measure. I'm going to make some changes here. For me, I think mine, I don't have the selection. That was for the one I created previously. So I'm just going to make a couple of changes, and then let's do that here as well. Always remember to replace the product and revenue with what you have in your own data. Make sure that you make those changes. This measure is basically building a sentence. It takes 3 things: top or bottom, and the number that the user picks, and the word, either product or products, right? When it's one product that is selected by the user, it will show product, and then when it's more than one, it would show products. That's what it does. You don't want to be seeing top 1 products. You want to be seeing top 1 product or top 2 products. It's just changing the grammar there, right? What we need to do now is we need to change the title. I'm going to click out here. Once I have the chart selected, all I need to do is go to title, and you can see this here, this conditional formatting. So once you click on that, it would ask you field value. Then we want to select the measure that we actually want to use, and it's the dynamic chart title here. I'm just going to click on. So now you can see it's showing bottom 6 products by revenue. And when I select top 6, it shows top 6 products by revenue. If I change that to 1, you see it changes it to top 1 product by revenue. And just like that, depending on what the user selects, the title dynamically changes. You can go ahead to style the button slicer and this slicer as well to suit your own theme. I'm not going to do that here, but you can go ahead to do that. And that's the field build. So dynamic ranking, a top and bottom toggle, and a self-updating title, all from scratch and all controlled by your users. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to share and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video.